LoreWarrior Armour, the Main Gauche light support tank. Overview. Despite a modification of the design in the late 3040s, sales of the Brooks Incorporated Galleon tailed off in the years after the clan invasion. Its short-range weapons were a distinct disadvantage against other advanced systems, and in the wake of Operation Bulldog, the Free Worlds League military began casting around for a replacement or companion for the Galleon. As developers of the original, Brooks were invited to bid. The Brooks proposal was the Main Gauche, which, after a protracted development phase, finally began trials in 3062. The initial phases of testing demonstrated the design's potential, and the LGAO authorized a limited production run and deployment to several frontline units for field evaluation. After 2 years of testing and tweaking, the League fully certified the design and authorized a full-scale production run. Capabilities. The installation of a 120 GM fusion power plant allows the tank a top speed of 65 kph, though the design's critics say that the engine is too small. The small size of the engine, however, compared to vehicles of similar sizes, allows the Main Gauche to carry a formidable principal armament in the form of an Imperator II light Gauss rifle. The Atreus-produced cannon allows the tank to provide accurate support fire out to 750 meters, and though it isn't as deadly as its larger cousins, it has still proved to be devastating in exercises. A pair of Volker's machine guns provide limited close-in defense against infantry and light vehicles, but the design's only effective defense against enemy fire is 5 tons of crystal steel armor. Deployment. The Main Gauche's name reflects its role as a companion vehicle, deployed in conjunction with a galleon or similar light vehicle. The tank's slow speed, thin armor, and absence of a turret make it a poor in-fighter. The accepted practice here is for the Main Gauche to deploy overlooking the field and provide long-range fire support for more agile units. A platoon of conventional infantry, or in some units a squad of battle armor, often protect the Main Gauche's weak flanks and rear. The Free Worlds Guard and the Free Worlds Legionnaires have the largest concentration of these tanks, but it has also found its way into a number of provincial militaries. The Free Worlds League have also embargoed sales of the design to foreign powers, though the Word of Blake has been granted several dozen that it's deployed with the 2nd Division. Variants. Though it has been in the field less than 3 years, a number of the Main Gauche variants have begun to appear. One replaces the 120 rated engine with a 180 rated XL version with an additional half-ton of armor, increasing the top speed to 97 kph, albeit at considerable expense. Another removes the machine guns and adds a C3 Slave and ER small laser, allowing the tank to exploit the targeting suites of similarly equipped units to lethal effect. So the Main Gauche is a 30-ton light vehicle that's tracked with a 120 GM fusion power plant, cruise speed of 43, flank speed of 65 kph. Its armor is the Jolassa 320 brand. Its armament is a single Imperator Type 2 light Gauss rifle with 2 Volker's 200 machine guns. It's manufactured by Brooks Incorporated and is manufactured on Irian. Its communication system is the Garrett T21C and its targeting and tracking is the Korean BTEC. Stats-wise, this translates into a vehicle that moves 4 and 6 with 10 single heat sinks. It has 29 armor on the front with 19 on the sides and only 13 on the rear, the light Gauss rifle being located front and center in the body with 16 rounds of ammo also located in the body. The 2 machine guns are on the front with ammo also being stored in the body. This is very evocative of a Jagdpanther, or as I once heard it called years and years ago in a company history video where and they called it a Jagged Panther. But yes, the Jagdpanther immediately springs to mind for this vehicle. Not so much like a Jagdtiger or anything like that. Yeah, very much a Jagdpanther for some reason. But yeah, it's that kind of classic casemate tank destroyer type design. Makes perfect sense. Obviously, with the light Gauss rifle being developed by the Free Worlds League, they would want to make use of their proprietary weapons technology in what looks like a fairly affordable vehicle to produce overall, outside of the gun, I suppose. I suppose light Gauss technology is probably a bit expensive by comparison, but the rest of the vehicle is cheap enough, the engine's small enough, the armor is probably locally made, not that difficult, and the machine guns are, dime a dozen, so there's no problem there. I could definitely see this thing being quite popular, especially on certain fronts, militia fronts or borders with obviously great houses like the Capellans and the Lyrans, just because, yeah, it's easy to deploy and can obviously lock down a location with its accurate ranged fire. As far as a gameplay thing, yeah, it's pretty good as in its intended role. I could definitely see setting up a scenario where you had 2 or 3 of these on a hill position, and it's got a fast moving spotter that is basically marking targets for them. And yeah, you've got like a couple of platoons of infantry sort of dotted around to protect the ways up to the location where the tanks are, and the Main Gauche just sit there and just rain fire. And yeah, light Gauss rifles don't do a hell of a lot of damage, but that all racks up 5 damage a hit. It's an AC5 at a much greater range with virtually no heat generation. It's pretty good. So yeah, I don't mind this tank again with the advanced tactical vehicle as well. These two are a deadly little combination. You imagine running these things. Yeah, the Minion's rapid fire pulses and the Main Gauche's oh, that is the alarm there. That is the alarm there from the Hebe. She has decided that is the end of this video apparently. Overall, as a quick wrap up while you hear her in the background, it's I quite like it. Again, another hit from TRO 3067. I'm impressed. Let's see if we keep going. I like the visual design, and yeah, the actual loadout and stuff makes perfect sense. So yeah, it's pretty cool. I like the in-universe setup for it, and it's also, these are vehicles that aren't too deadly that if you put them up against players, that they would get mauled by them, but they can still cause enough of a threat. So yeah, pretty decent. It's like vedettes for a modern era, basically. But yeah, have a good one all. Thanks for listening, as always. I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.